Fresh, yo. Cuts is mad, the beer short.
Responder is a pretty clever hacking tool. The thing about Windows computers is that they always want to try to join a domain and connect to shared drives on the network. And so if a Windows machine wants to connect to a shared drive, it will try to get to that host directly. So then if the Windows machine still can't find that shared drive that it really wants to connect to, it then sends a broadcast message to all the computers on the local subnet. And that's when Responder springs into action. It sneakily says, why yes, I'm that shared drive you're looking for, that's me. You need to authenticate first, yeah. And the Windows computer is like, oh yes, of course. Okay, here's my username and password. Now Microsoft takes your security seriously, so it doesn't actually send your password over the network. Instead, it sends a password hash. And since Responder is this dirty little liar on your network, it snatches that username and that password hash and gives it to the penetration tester or hacker who's running the tool.
I'm gonna fucking kill you. You brought two Mortys with you? What, they're your cheering section?
We brought ourselves, asshole.
Honestly, wife guy, I do miss when it was just us. The only two Ricks who actually invented portal travel. Anyone else keyed up to arrive later? Like your car?
I can see why you hate him.
And she sounds like our wife. Like in a fucked up robot way, but that's definitely her voice. You sentimental little fella. Right, good instincts. I would've tried that too. I upgraded this thing, by the way. The new version can fire more than once. So now I can erase your whole family, one by one, until you finally learn your lesson. Which you won't, so then I'll kill you too. I'll do that the old-fashioned way. Okay, family killing time!
With AWS powering your core operations, you demand uncompromising reliability. You need a global team of AWS experts and tools that provide application-level guidance to mitigate risks and improve resolution times. You need AWS Unified Operations. To improve resilience and performance, Unified Operations delivers workload reviews, guidance on migrations, launches, testing, and cost optimization, application-specific alarm monitoring and alerting, and 5-minute context-specific response times for critical incidents. Contact your AWS account team to learn more.
Let's consider Zapier and how it can be used maliciously. Zapier is a tool that lets you automate things. If I get a new invoice in my email, I can automatically upload that invoice to Dropbox so that the accounting team can see it. But in order for that to work, it's got to have the ability to see your inbox and have the ability to view and upload things to your Dropbox. So to set it up, you need to give it permissions to do that. Well, now if a hacker gets into your Dropbox, now they can create their own fresh Zapier account that they control and connect it to your Dropbox. And you wouldn't even know they're there because to you, all you see is that Zapier has permission to view your files, but you set that up when you were setting up your invoice automation thing. Someone who's in your account who doesn't even need your username or password to stay in. Change the password all you want, they're still going to stay connected to your stuff. You don't have people who are like experts in Zapier account security who will audit what apps you have given permission to regularly. This is a big challenge to keep up with.
Let's start small. Still family though.
Where am I? 2 Ricks? Where's my wife? I was just with my wife!
Uncle Slow!
What the Uncle Slow? Slow Mobius?
Yeah, this one hurts me too.
The worst possible time to use his powers just made the death happen slower.
I'll kill you!
Building multi-step applications and AI workflows shouldn't mean writing custom complex code. Developers often spend too much time tracking progress, writing error handling logic, and managing retries instead of focusing on their innovation. AWS Lambda Durable Functions simplifies all of this. Write code using your programming language and IDE, while Durable Functions provides built-in patterns to manage progress and error handling. Build multi-step applications and AI workflows faster with Lambda Durable Functions without having to write complex logic or manage additional infrastructure. Get started today.
In our lives, particularly in public services like health and education. Now, the reason we're hosting this summit is because AI technology is developing at an incredible pace. The people who are developing the technology themselves have raised some concerns about what might happen, how it might be used by bad actors, and I want to take a lead in protecting the British people. That's why we've convened everyone to talk about these risks. It's why we've created an AI Safety Institute here in the UK, doing more on this than anyone else in the world. It's very hard to predict how the labour market will change as a result of a new technology, but history tells us that, of course some jobs will change, but overall, as technology makes things cheaper or makes us more productive, that's overall good for the economy and creates jobs over time. My job is to make sure that we help people to succeed whatever happened. Earlier this year, we established something called the Defending Democracy Task Force. It involves our security services as well, and that task force is charged with ensuring the integrity of our democratic processes like elections. And as I said, this is something that we've already been working on, and AI is one of the things that AI does is make those risks much greater, because things can happen on a much greater scale far faster than they could have happened before. It's already started.
And afterwards, that is directly following, I want to talk to you about something even bigger. Namely, this is Max Headroom. And what you're about to witness is one of the most sinister sounding intros to a trailer to one of the greatest epics ever produced in the history of television. And there's more.
Yo, we're in the building. You hear me? Sound check, sound check, sound check. Yo, Theo, let me get a sound check, Playboy.
Yeah, I hear you. What's up?
Oh, you sound great. Fantastic. All right, we're back at it again. This is episode number 2 with you. Third episode in the series. Tech support. How goes it, sir?
It goes well, actually. The market is good. There's been a lot of fluttering last week regarding AI security jobs, AI SecOps, DevSecOps jobs, so government jobs. So normally during the winter, there's no communication from recruiters. It's actually very low. And I've had a record amount of communication up until tomorrow, which is, of course, Martin Luther King birthday. If this happens, it means the spring is going to be out of control. There's going to be a massive hiring in cloud. So I'm just looking forward to this right now, to be honest.
Well, that's perfect. And I would say a tremendous, depending on how things go, tremendous people in the boot camp are ready as well, because once again, I spent yesterday, early this morning, putting thumbs up and congratulating people on certs. I mean, I say it every time, but you'd have to see it to believe it. People are knocking these certs out at record level.
Yeah, they're doing a really great job, and I don't know, since last time we had the podcast, I don't know how many people in the group got certs and got jobs. I stopped counting.
Well, I saw at least 6 cert postings this week between HashiCorp and SAA. You're racking up on those SAAs. You're racking up, bro. On the SAAs and the HashiCorps, you're racking up on those certs.
It's just intense. Again, any of my students who are listening, I'm really proud of you guys. I'm actually stunned I can't believe how successful you guys are being right now. It's absolutely incredible to me. So keep it up. Yeah, hats off to the students. They're doing a great job.
All right, excellent. I put the link to I put the link in the chat for signing up for the group and for your next series of classes for the Black Manosphere Conclave. And then
Mhm.
I'll put it in the description as well. But yeah, you see, I touched up the intro a little bit. Tried to make it a little bit more snazzier than the one last week. Uh, I got a couple AWS drops in there, some Rick and Morty, and the apropos AI drop at the end because that's actually from the UK's AI Oversight Council, and they were talking about
Yeah.
some of the things that they're putting in place in terms of GRC and governance.
See, I like it because okay, so you play the Rick and Morty, right? That's called,
Mm-hmm.
right? Rick and Morty. See, you're playing something from television that where I wasn't in America at that
Mm-hmm.
time, so I totally missed that. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing it for the first time. When I watch it, I'm like, what the heck? Like, what is this? Like, what am I seeing?
Yeah, like I told you, Rick and Morty. Rick's like the he's like the evil Doctor Who.
Yeah, I like it. I do. I'm totally fascinated by it. So continue on there. That's a great thing. So I really like it a lot.
Yeah, it's hilarious, right? All right,
Yeah, it's hilarious. But you have to think while you're doing it, like you're
but
analyzing it the whole time, right?
yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah, it's ridiculous dark humor. Like the dialogue is it's high level dialogue. It's like what do you call it? It's like Larry David level sci-fi, like tongue in cheek dialogue.
Yeah.
And then there's like all these quantum theory, quantum physics, uh, uh, examples and analogies and stuff. Yeah, it's a brilliant piece of Adult Swim. Adult Swim hit pay dirt with that. Let's I want to go over a piece of this Kelsey Hightower thing later, but let's pick up where we
Sure.
left off last time, talking about these AI jobs. That's why I actually had that piece as a segue at the end of the intro. Let me see if we're going to add this really quick. Bang, here we go. Let me take your banner down. Um, and I know we went through these like the first time, but I want to double down on these. Um, um, because some of these are jobs that are in the making, some of these are available jobs. Uh, but with regard to AI, I think you had a very good conversation with some people who were in the chat last time. Uh, and like I said, there's that ongoing fear of AI, but I'm of the opinion that especially with this professional pivot that I'm making in terms of a career, because this will be my last career pivot ever. And I just decided to burn my ships, double down, and move toward cloud, which ironically is directly tied to AI. So I'm of the opinion, so the bigger AI grows, the bigger of a job opportunity is for me. And
Uh-huh.
I think that's the mental hack right there, right? Yo, Growth
Yeah.
Talk with Kofa in the building. What's up, Playboy? Growth Talk is also and a number of Theo's boot camps. And subscribe to Growth Talk with Kofa if you are already not subscribed. Growth Talk in the building. Here's the drop.
We got more pricing games coming up in the second half of the show. Don't go away, folks. We got more pricing games coming up in the second half of the show. Don't go away, folks.
And crypto is booming a little bit too, so that's apropos. But go ahead. Let me turn on some background music for you. Yeah, let's double down on these from last time and reinforce these because you're the first I've seen actually put job details on some of these things. Even a lot of the tech and science podcasts that I watch. I don't think people really realize how far ahead of the curve you are, Theo.
Yeah, I'm trying to be as far as ahead of the curve as I can because this takes time to actually study. Like give you an example. I mean, we're talking about like this. This is multi-agentic reinforcement learning. Okay.
Nice.
To understand this, to understand the math that's in here, the concepts, the ideas that are in here, and then to be able to put into a repo, have it displayed, have it reproduced. This takes time. It's not something you just 10 minutes, whoop, there it is. No, you have to think about it. And this is just one book. I mean, how many others do I have here? I've got the AI, what is it? The AI agent blueprint. Then I got another one, reinforcement learning, right here, right? And then this one here again, deep reinforcement learning, hands-on. What I'm saying is that to actually read these kind of books, make labs, implement it, try to figure out how to make money for it, do everything. This takes a lot of time. So you have to understand where are you going? Where is this going to manifest later on? And a lot of what we have right now are tools, but the space doesn't understand how to use them. It's too advanced. So again, you're in my class, we talk about CI/CD pipelines, right? And how to enforce that and do DevSecOps use Sneak, right? If a company is just going into the cloud, they don't know what a pipeline is.
Right.
They don't have that concept. So getting them to a point of maturity where they can actually use a pipeline is going to take some time. Well, what if you're doing a pipeline and then you're using AI to do some automated checks, and then you're also correlating that with authentication, but then you're using RAG and it goes out and says, hey, look, I see this code that you're using. I'm going to go out and get some additional sites, and I'm going to see whether or not what you actually have right here is sufficient. And maybe my knowledge as an agent isn't sufficient right now. So I'm going to go out and learn real quick about what I'm supposed to know for your code. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a highly intelligent decision. And companies are there. That what I just said for a lot of companies is pure voodoo. They would literally understand the Terminator more than what I just said.
Right.
That's where we're going. And so when I'm making things in the class and I'm architecting solutions, I have to be thinking ahead and say, what do the students need? So when the companies start thinking that they need this, my students can pull up and say, hey, I got it right here. Yeah,
right.
I've been doing this for a while. I'm ready to go.
Exactly. Spot on. Mr. Hitman says tapping in from Armageddon. Yeah, so somebody's busy working on a Saturday, on a Sunday.
Yeah, I'm making the students suffer with this Armageddon. I gotta admit, I really am. I'm really going after them on this one. But this is the reason why I'm getting students who are suffering at Armageddon. The reason why I'm going so hard at you guys this time is, first, I believe in you. Second, this is one of the best job markets we're going to see in our lifetimes for cloud. This is unbelievable. This spring might make 2020 look like a recession. That's how many jobs are going to be available. And I want my students to be first at the table dictating terms of payment. Right?
Nice.
So that's why I'm well, you got to do this work right now. You got to get this lab done now. You got to get this pipeline done now. You got to get this code done now. And of course, my students are, suffering and this is real. What do you think how I'm talking about making a gym in Sao Paulo. How do you think I'm financing that? What? Through Chewbacca walks?
Facts.
I'm doing it through cloud. So
right.
Go for it, guys. This is your time.
Red Sigma says at the highest level, technology seems like magic. Exactly. Mr. Clay, member for 5 months, man. Yo, shout out to everybody that's a member to the channel. Believe it or not, our longest standing our first channel member and our longest standing channel member is, believe it or not, Theo U, the Do Better podcast. He was our first channel and our longest channel member, and he was our first $100 super chat because he's been with us since season 1 too. When it was just me, Saul, and Gunmetal in the chat. He would just put little eyeballs in the chat like, I'm watching you guys. Keep it up. So salute to Mr. Clay. He says, salute to Machismo TV, Theo, and the Righteous Productive Brothers in the chat. I believe that calls for a drop.
Shit. Got your ass.
Denzel, before you leave, can you hit us off with that King Kong line?
Can't I'm putting cases on all you. Can you curse on it? You can't curse on it, can you?
No, you can't.
I'm putting cases. You'll be playing basketball in Pelican Bay when I get shoot program, nigga. 23-hour lockdown. You think you can do this to me? Shaq, you think you can do this to me?
I like you. I like it. I like those quite a lot. Especially when it's been like a long day, and like it's frustrating, and I've just had to deal with so much crap, and then you're broadcasting. I'm like, oh yeah, like I just hate the stuff that's going on. Let's just super chat you and let's just do those drops.
Those drops. Yeah.
It's just really fun.
Yeah, we doubled down on humor on this side. We tried to create with this channel, me and Saul, like the feeling we felt when like cool stuff would come on TV in the 80s and the 90s. You know what I mean? Like you've never seen it before. You're like, wow. You know what I mean? Lord of Brooklyn, what up, Playboy salute. He said, why does Tracy Morgan look like that? So I don't know. He does a little bit now though, right? All right, let me pull this back. Let me pull this back up for you. So yeah, this is we went through this. I think it was close toward the middle of last stream, but I wanted to double down on these AI positions and go and more so like for a reinforcement thing. Brothers need to see where AI is going. See brothers talking about cloud and AI, and that they too can get into the industry, and they don't have to have gone to college for computer science. To some degree, a computer science going to college, what might actually be a bit of a detriment because the industry is moving so quickly. Yeah. Go ahead, it's all yours.
Yeah. So, like, one of the things, a lot of my students, they talk about full stack, right? They want to become a full stack engineer. And I always say the only full stack engineer you want to be is this kind of full stack, which is a full stack AI or agentic AI engineer. Mm-hmm. And this kind of full stack will get you paid. There it is. This is where your market is going. This is where you're going. But if you're talking about full stack like HTML or JavaScript code, no. Literally right now, AI can architect that and design all the code. All you need to do is do some tweaks to it to get it to work.
Some tweaks, yep.
Right? But where we're talking about like full stack agentic AI, no. In fact, AI can actually design part of your code for full stack agentic AI. But the rest of it, you need to figure out on your own to get that in and actually implement it. And that's going to be some work, right? And so if you want that job, $250,000, $300,000 a year, that's coming down the pipeline. That's really going to be important. And that's why I think that's point number 6. So we have small specialized language models. Right. Well, number 5. So small specialized language model portfolio owner, and then small motor strategy lead. When we're talking about that kind of stuff, this is where we're really getting into things like this, like the full stack AI. And you're implementing, again, small points of language models, specialized language models for specific purposes. You're making architecture over that. There's a lot of work in that, and there's a lot of money, and that's coming right down the pipeline. Now, I already know that some companies are implementing this, but when I say some companies, it's like, it's like saying, there's some black men who speak Japanese fluently. Okay, so just because you like I speak Japanese fluently, just because you know one or two of us doesn't mean you got a whole lot of it. There's a lot of growth there. That's like there's a lot of room for growth, and so I don't want people like to listen to this and think like, oh yeah, well I can't get in there like fast enough. By the time I get in there, all the jobs will be taken. No, it's not even close. This kind of job is going to be there for the next 10 to 15 years easily. It's not going away. They're going to need this for a lot of purposes. Because essentially, when you're making a small specialized language model, you have to think of that as being an employee. So that's one person. So if they needed like 3 people to support an application, you need to make 3 small specialized language models, right? So S2LMs, you got to make 3 of them. So you got to support all 3. You got to make sure you're training all 3. So that's, in one way, you could think those are taking 3 jobs away, but essentially that's actually 3 positions that weren't there before. They were kind of new. And so you, as a trainer, that's a new position. That is something that is totally unique. And they're going to really need you to be there to do the training. So as long as you know how to train, you know what the requirements are, you know how to make those models learn independently in a RAG methodology, yeah, you can have a job. You could be making some cash. Yeah, you'd be eating steak. Your dogs will be eating steak. Like my dog eats steak. Yeah.
So you'll be eating steak.
Yeah. So let's go to the next one. Hybrid autonomy architect, iPrem autonomy plus cloud reasoning. So this one, what we're doing is we're having our on-prem AI language model, this huge one there, right? But we're gathering information from the cloud. And we have agents working in the cloud, gathering information from endpoints, and then feeding that back to the on-prem data center. And here we're having some language learning in combination with your LLM. That's actually a really cool job. I'm hoping to teach stuff like that a little bit later on. It's harder to teach. I'm actually trying to develop the correct methodology for that one. But just want to say, like, autonomy architecture, right? That's you're basically making it so that your AI can learn by itself, right? And then you're also doing what can be considered to be swarm, which is you would have, for example, one central AI, and it clones itself, and then together it learns as a unit. Like, people ain't doing this right now. They're like, this is like cutting edge. People really aren't doing this kind of stuff. These jobs are coming, guys. I'm telling you, this is going to be something huge. Like, for example, you could have your company has its own learning language model, but it has a contract with another company to exchange the information that its language model learns. So those, you have like 2 different points, and they're just cross-learning with each other. They're training each other. Both models are training each other. So then you just have to make sure your inputs are correct. The agentic AI is working correctly with those. Your API calls are working. Your encryption is working. Everything is tight. There's no hackers in the middle. That's some good money. Yeah. You want to like we talk about passport bros. We talk about going to Peru and going to an Airbnb or something like that, right? Yeah, you could do that. But you could also just buy the building. Right. You'd be like, I want, there's 3 or 4 apartments in this building. Each one is an Airbnb. I just want to buy the entire building, and now it's my Airbnb. I'm going to rent that out. Like, you could actually have that kind of cash flow in the future. So I just want to give you guys hope. This stuff is actually coming down. What we're really talking about is where is the value? And the value is going to be with gathering information and then analyzing the information on the fly, and then protecting not only the quality of information, but the quality and the sanitation of the analysis. So you don't want the analysis to be wrong. That's really important. Those are all separate jobs. Those are all separate fields. If you can choose which one you want to go into, how you want that to work. Let's go to the next one. That goes into the next point, number 7. AI reliability and safety engineering lead. Okay. So on this one, this is really big. So we already have one ISO, which is 42001, which talks about AI responsibility, AI safety, AI requirements, safety requirements. Basically, guys, you really need to make sure that your AI hasn't been injected with malicious information, and in order to cause a different outcome. So, like, for example, I'll give you this one example, okay? So let's say you're using AI to generate your Terraform, okay? And you need to have your security groups set. And you're in class with me in the security groups, right? So I always talk about ingress security groups, and then I say don't touch the egress at all. Right. Don't touch it at all. Well, what if I injected your AI model with some SQL code such that now every time when that model issues out a Terraform code with security groups, the egress is manipulated, or there's always an open port for the ingress.
Right.
So if you have an engineer who isn't checking that and just implements it, you got a security hole right there.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So what you want to do is make sure that any input to AI cannot corrupt the AI or the AI reasoning. And this is what number 7 is about. This is for AI reliability and safety engineering.
Okay.
That one, easy $250,000 to $300,000 a year, and that's starting now. That's like, there's some companies who actually need that kind of government jobs.
Right.
Going to have that kind of stuff. So you could be a government contractor making $25,000 a month doing that.
Well, that's crazy you just said that, because I just covered something this week on one of my random shit streams, and it's Kwame Kaiju sent it to me, actually, and it's Pete Hegseth with making his announcement at the Pentagon. The Pentagon just partnered with Elon and Grok to incorporate the I guess the proprietary version of Grok AI into all the Pentagon systems. What's your take on that?
Well, I understand that's actually a really good method. So what I would assume as an architect is that they got the proprietary code, so they have their own databases that's set there, and then the owners of Grok, they would do updates, and then they would have to push the update to the government, and then that had to be done through a controlled method. There had to be some sort of data sanitation, data checks to make sure that there wasn't some sort of problem, and then it would be pushed out to the government. That would be a really cool job. Like that whole pipeline. Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'm sure the Pentagon's not using the public version of Grok that's released to the public on Twitter. It's probably some enterprise scale, with all the bells and whistles superpowers.
Well, yeah. Well, also most of the responsible AIs out there is public. They can't give you a methodology to what can I say, snuff out human life.
Right.
Well, there's ethics. So the Pentagon could just remove that.
Right.
like your job is to actually end like this organism from breathing. Right? This is your job, right? Yeah. So it would be like a Skynet, right? So yeah, that would work. Yeah, they'd actually have different guardrails. So I could see, for example, it'd have to identify what U.S. forces were.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as I could say, like, this is U.S. forces, this is NATO forces, and then these are other forces or value X forces, and its job is to denigrate or remove power from or remove structural viability from value X forces. Yeah, then it'd be like, okay, I know what's going on. And it would do its thing.
Right.
So, yeah, that'd be like just one example. It's kind of a sci-fi, but it's actually kind of true.
Well, I mean, we're seeing it. We're seeing some type of onboarding or merging, as it were, in real time. Yeah, it was Pete and Elon, and then like Pete gave a whole speech. I covered a big part of it. So and they've you see what just happened with Venezuela. They used apparently they used microwave weapons, robots, AI, and a drone swarm using IoT technology, Internet of Things technology. It was some high level, super like Warhammer shit, and actually only 20 humans on the ground. The rest of it was like robots, drone swarms, right? With drone swarms, microwave and sonic weapons, like sci-fi. Yeah, exactly. DARPA level shit.
DARPA, yeah. Okay, so we can talk about this real quick, but my personal feeling about Venezuela is that it was a little bit of a flex by the Pentagon.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like, we're just going to do Venezuela as a war games exercise.
Yo, 100%. 100%. 100%.
So, like, it's like kind of like telling Putin, like, you can't even get across a river in Ukraine, and this is what we could do in 3 hours. Okay? Like, your ally, we can get them in 3 hours. That's all it takes.
Bro, you know what? Yo, you're 100%, and I'm going to do a follow-up stream probably tomorrow on a random shit where I found, it's from the China Observer, and I got a bunch of other ones where they actually break down the whole Venezuela thing, and like the big issue being that Venezuela has some of China's best missile defense systems and everything like that. And, because they've been selling them everywhere. And the China Observer showing, like, here's the real problem with this. It's not that the U.S. jammed these missiles defense systems. It's that they completely shut them down remotely. They black screened everything. So these are the same ones that China's using that they're selling to everyone else. And then less than 10 minutes, basically the U.S. They iPhone bricked them. They iPhone bricked all like these multi-billion-dollar missile systems, detection systems. They iPhone bricked them. They sent in a swarm of drones. There were only 20 men in using and they had on what do you call it? The DARPA exoskeletons suits. They make them super strong. They can run super fast. And the Venezuelan guy saying that these weapons were shooting 300 rounds a minute. Those were robots. There were men, bro. It was on some Warhammer shit. It was only 20 men on the ground.
Right.
There was only 20 men on the ground.
Yeah. Keep it going. Yeah.
No, it's like I said, it was if you're familiar with Warhammer, it's Warhammer.
Yeah. It was Warhammer. Next level. They're not ready. For me, it reminded me of Panama in '89, kind of as a prelude to the first Iraq War, and then we came with this new tech. Nobody knows what's going on, and we're like, yeah, we got stealth fighters. This is what we got. This is what we're playing around with, and we've had stealth fighters for the last 10 years, right? And so they're just coming in here. They're literally doing Warhammer on these guys. Venezuela is preparing for a war which exists in the past for the United States.
Exactly.
Right? And it's the same thing with Russia right now in Ukraine. So we're learning like how Russia fights a war, but sadly, Russia is learning in real time how America fights a war. And we're like, oh, these are two different wars, two different. Yeah, it's not the same.
And you know what you're saying. Here's what I realized too. What you're saying right now. We've had a lot of this stuff for a long time. The only difference is we haven't had a commander in chief. I think Trump walked in and was like, "Wow, we got this. Wow, we got." He was like a kid in a can. Why aren't we using this? What? Why was? I'm trying to tell you. I think he did like he freaked out like a little kid in the candy shop. He was like, "Screw that. We got what? We got lasers." Put some lasers on a frog? Okay. I think he was like this, and then he put Keith, and then he's got Hegseth as Department of head of DOD, and Hegseth is he's a combat veteran, so he's not one of these old armchair generals. So Hegseth is going at it like, I've already been on the ground fighting. We want to shape operations where we have zero to no U.S. casualties. Because he's not one of these armchair generals that's like, all right, send these guys in as cannon fodder. He's thinking as a combat veteran, be like, no, we want the least amount of casualties as possible. And Trump's over there like, what about can't we put lasers on a frog? You understand? I saw the report. It says we got microwave weapons. Why aren't we using those? I think Trump's that guy. Like, why are we even sending all this? Can't we do all this by remote control? Trump's that guy, and the Hegseth's like, you know what? Okay, let's put some scenarios together for him. And Trump's like, I like this one. And can we be playing rock music when we go over there? What about YMCA? Can we play that through loudspeakers? Yo, I'm telling you, that's how that shit's going down. And Hegseth's like, yes, sir, we can do that.
Yo, so you like communism? I'll give you some YMCA. How's that?
Straight up, bro. I'm telling you, that shit's going on. And you know what I'm saying? And Trump's just like, yo, why are we sending all these goddamn troops? Let's try to do most of this from remote control. I want to be able to watch this from the Oval Office. You know what I mean? Can we get in and out in 20 minutes? I got a press conference. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why do we got all these troops in the ground? No one told me we had lasers. We got stealth technology from UFOs. Why aren't we using this shit? It's just going to waste. I think that's exactly what's happening, bro.
Kind of reminds me of when we had that little flyby over Iran, and then Iran became real quiet afterwards. We're like, yeah, you thought you were doing your little troll, your little talking. Talk now, huh? How do you like that? You didn't even know what was going on. We put our best bombers over your airspace and made all of your nuclear facilities into barbecue pits. How'd you like that? Like, you can't even go in there to dig it up. It's gone. Right? I can't give Trump his kudos for that. That was a boss move right there. Same thing for Venezuela. Definite boss move.
Well, here's the thing. I think a conundrum's been revealed because, with the engineer deficit that we have over here compared to China, we talk about it all the time, and then also what they're doing with AI. So I think that's a real thing in terms of per capita costs, in terms of schooling, education, etc. They're turning out more engineers, but here when I do the China Observer segment this week, because they do a full breakdown of the Chinese what missile systems they had in Venezuela. I think what do you call it? It's one of these weird turn of events where it's like no one expected this. No one expected that. Because here's the thing. It's not only that they iPhone bricked the missile defense systems, they did it remotely. So then it's like, where do they have the technology to actually even do that remotely? Like they're doing it like reverse entry through radio waves type shit. Like seriously, because they're saying like they basically probably had like a team of hackers in like a stealth jet or something up flying over. You know what I'm saying? And they use some the what do you call it? They break it down and they use like some reverse radio wave to access the missile system and completely shut the system down. Yo, it's crazy. It's space age technology type shit, bro.
Yeah, So, okay. So, like what the Chinese do when they're hacking activities, that's a bit sloppy because we're aware of what they do, who they are, and what they're doing. And so we're actually going around and trying to remove them from our systems. Real hackers, you don't know they're there.
They're there, right?
They're just sitting there dormant.
Yeah, no breadcrumbs or nothing.
Nothing, right? So when they need to do something, they just do it. They're like, yeah, we need this decision. Boom, I will take care of that. And yeah, what could Venezuela do? So you kind of sit back and say, well, they could do that to Venezuela. Cuba should be watching out for its front door because Cuba's right there, and we got plenty of military. We got military base basically on their soil. So, yeah, Cuba.
Well,
I don't know. They should be making some nice tacos for us.
Yeah, well, I think Trump is really serious about securing the entire Western Hemisphere. He's playing long game, basically like China and Russia do now. Like, the AI. We have, we're from the the wall comes down. We're Cold War babies. You know what I mean?
Cool,
I was alive when the wall came down. Like, I remember having to do the drills in elementary school, getting under the desk and shit like that. Like, so that was the nuclear arms race. Yeah, so we're in the AI arms race now, and we're really playing for keeps. I think between Elon and Palantir in his ear, and Vance is close with Teal. Like, I think that do you know what I'm saying? I think they had the right conversations, and I don't think they're wrong. This AI race is real. Stargate, the Stargate initiative is real. It's up, and for AI needs cloud, AI needs data centers, and AI needs friggin' energy.
Yeah. So of course we see the companies buying energy. Like Google just spent over $4 billion to buy an energy plant.
Yo, you saw that? Yeah, you see? No, it's Meta. Meta just bought.
Meta.
Yeah,
so,
they just bought a nuclear power plant, right?
My issue is that, unfortunately, over the last 20 years, the United States has really denigrated its educational system for
100%.
STEM. 100%. And they're not in a position to actually do AI. So it's us older guys who are doing the AI right now. But we now have engineers who know how to feel about AI, but don't know what to do with it. I feel this way. I feel like AI is like, what do you want me to do? Like, I'm an API. What do you like? I got a program. You got a prompt. Well, I have this feeling. I'm stuck on a feeling, right? Like, stop it. Right. So, AI really, like, Chinese engineers in elementary school are being trained on AI. We don't have anything on that level. And so that's why I say, like, one of the reasons that I want to leave the country, because I want my kids to be in another educational system where first boys are prioritized and emphasized, but also STEM, like mathematics, engineering, like electronics, all of that is taught in high school and in university, and it's not watered down. It's very hardcore because, again, the number one research university in the world it's not Harvard, it's in China. And China that university doesn't have any diversity. Almost everyone is Chinese. So they're playing to keep. They know the team they're playing on, right? Mm-hmm. So we have to be thinking, okay, as a country, how are we playing this game? And we're not in a position for it. We're thinking about equity and feelings. China's not doing that at all.
Oh yeah, we're I've said this before. Like, this little run here with Trump, it's probably a Band-Aid more than anything. But if there's any chance to stem the tide, it's going to happen in these 4 years. If not, like, it's a wrap. Because we're completely overrun by this globalist ideology, and there's so much foreign influence money in the country. Like, we're rotting from the inside. We're rotting from the inside. MC, with the $3 super chat. It said, "Here, my baby mama go to church and job and job fee." That's funny. that's funny.
Am I the meanest?
Sure enough.
Am I the prettiest?
Sure enough.
Am I the baddest mofo low down around this time?
Sure enough.
Well, who am I?
Sure enough.
Who am I?
Sure enough.
I can't hear you.
Sure enough.
Let's be nice. Yeah. Let's be nice. We don't have to go there. I mean, you're not wrong, but you didn't have to say it. I mean, good Lord.
No, go ahead. That's all. No, go ahead, Phil. That's all you.
I totally agree. If our educational system is not reformed immediately, we're going to be in deep trouble. And I think we're already in deep trouble, like for a lot of Gen Zers right now. They can't, basically like this, they can't construct ideas sufficiently in order to do prompt engineering for AI. So even AI doesn't know what they're talking about. They're like, hey, like describe it. Like, well, I can't describe it. This is how I feel about it. And AI's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I can, maybe this is what you're talking about, but I don't know what it is. In order to use AI, one of the things you have to be able to do is structure your idea and then understand where you're starting from, where you're going to, what your goal is, and be able to define it. So not only structure your idea, but define it and make requirements. So you're making boundaries, you're making goals, you're having structure. You put that into AI, and it's like, yep, I know what you're doing. I got models for this. We can start working, collaborating together. Then AI is wonderful. You can't do that. This AI ain't gonna work. In fact, somebody who knows AI is gonna come around and take your job. That's how that's gonna work. You got a lot of Gen Zers who do not know how to do the structure.
Oh, because they're not teaching critical thinking in school anymore. Like how's the thing? They're not teaching that anymore. We grew up with, we had debate club. Remember, we had mock trial and stuff like that. You had to run for student council, student president, and all of that. So it was always consistently you out in front of people making your argument. And like I said, the debate club used to be a big thing. The schools used to compete against each other, and it used to be like the old Marcus of Queensberry rules with the moderators and everything. So like everyone, and this is why I say, we do a lot of like rat community, shout out to AC Keisha type talk and everything, but that's also from a framework where, like I said, when I went to school, when we did debate club, when we did mock trial, the girls used to mop the floor with the boys. Like, you know what I'm saying? I went to high school engineering and science. Pretty girl. My calculus tutor was a chick who ended up being my girlfriend. When we went to university, I went to university for computer science. She went to Drexel. She looked like Vanessa Williams. She was first flute. She was first chair flute. She was first prima ballerina, like toe. And she, what she went to school at Drexel for? A double major in physics and chemical engineering.
Dang.
And what I'm saying is that was normal back then. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like when we be like, because I went to school with smart, I was used to being around like super smart chicks, who were pretty too. Do you know what I'm saying? Pretty and feminine. Do you know what I mean? And that's when it wasn't what do you call it? Like lower the bar for girls type shit. It's like, it was just like, you're in here with the boys, and like I said, and the girls competed, and they were good. They studied their asses off, and a lot of the girls actually were smarter than the boys. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I'm talking about STEM. I went to engineering and science. Like all the advanced calculus classes, it was all girls in there. I mean, of course it was guys. You know what I'm saying? But like the ones who really did well, and then a lot of times it would be like you would think a girl, not like she was dumb, but like she'd be ditzy when you would meet her like regular, and she'd go, but you'd be like, what? You're in advanced so-and-so? You're in advanced so? Like, you'd be like, yo, you don't even study. Do you know what I mean? And she'd be like, yeah, she would be like, well, I don't know. You want me to help you with your homework or something? Like, yeah. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? So like a lot of these dumb, like I said, like it's an active indictment of the educational system. Because like I said, even ditzy like you've always had dumb people. That's not what I'm saying, but like that's where that old joke about like the ditzy girl who's like that straight A student comes from. Like, because that was normal, like in the 80s and shit. You'd be like, this fucking airheads in fucking advanced calculus? Are you serious? You know what I mean? That because that was the quality of the school, and they didn't lower the bar type thing. You know what I mean?
When they didn't lower the bar, they produced better engineers.
Exactly.
And it didn't matter if it were boy or girl, right? It was just individual. And I have to admit, my advanced calculus classes, okay, in the beginning, they were like 70% girls, 30%.
Yeah. All right. So we're from the same thing. Now here's the thing: as when it comes to running the marathon, the guys end up persevering longer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, cause you know, what, I'm going to do something else. So the guys will persevere long. But I remember, like I said, I remember when I was in all those engineering classes, and even in high school, they used to have something called magna programs and the gifted programs, and it was like usually an even distribution of boys and girls. You know what I'm saying? And a lot, like I said, black girls, a lot of black girls, black and Asian girls.
Right, but yeah. So as time goes on, like you look at like grad school, like actually back in my day. So you got engineering, right? So the first 2 years of engineering, the girls might be the majority, but the third and fourth year, no, the guys are. And
100%.
The international guys would be the main players, and because
exactly,
it gets kind of hard.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of you have to sacrifice quite a lot, and those courses are hard. So. You know that, again, I talked to my therapist about this. If you go in those programs, you know you're not going to be dating. That's just the way it is. So for a 21-year-old girl to give up dating when she's about to go into her sexual prime, that's a no-go. It's just, it doesn't make sense. So they need to structure it a little bit differently, so that they can still be mammals and do mammal things, right? But also get the education. Whereas guys, they're not going into their prime at all. They're not going. Their prime doesn't really start until their 30s. So, what are they going to do? They have no value in the market. They can't date anybody, right? So they're just going to keep on going and studying and go as hardcore as they possibly can. So that's why they go third and fourth year university is going to be more male. Graduate level is going to be more male, particularly with us, while we were Gen Xers, and it just kept on continuing after this. Right?
And there you go, quiet storm. Yo, this is what I say to you. I say to you all the time, Theo. He hit it right on the head. Storm says that is why I suck at taking SAA, but I'll build, program, and secure the fuck out of some cloud projects. Wait, I gotta tell you, black men, we're hands-on learners, and I hate to be stuck learning from books. I'm just in a position where I got to do it reverse. I got to get the cert out of the way, and I'll go back and build because I'm in a time crunch. But Quiet Storm's got it right on the nose, and I've said that to you from the beginning. That's why.
Let me explain this again especially for my students. When you're doing SAA or SAP, you have to think of it not in terms of tech, but in terms of that you are a consultant working for AWS and you're dealing with a customer. And if you're a consultant for AWS, you are promoting AWS's services so that that customer doesn't go to GCP or Azure. So if you have that mentality that you're talking to that person in order to increase cash flow for AWS, SAA and SAP make total logical sense. You have to think of it from that point of view. It's a political test. It's not a technical one. It's political.
100%. 100%.
So I actually want to make a certification program in the class for AWS Terraform and GCP Terraform.
Oh, it's going to be brutal.
Right. But that's what we actually need, because then guys can be hands-on and actually be nerdy in the way that they want to be nerdy. And it's not like Terraform itself, like the version 4 right now, whereas it's theoretical cloud agnostic. No, man, we want to, hey, how do we implement this in AWS for this purpose? How do I think about this? So I really want to have that kind of certification program for the students. That's what was sorely needed. But again, out there, like again, I had this idea from Cisco. I noticed at the higher level that I went with Cisco, it wasn't really so much tech, it was politics. How do I sell Cisco products? How do I deliver a Cisco solution based upon Cisco principles, which increases the cash flow for Cisco, right?
Right.
Because when I was at the SAP and SAA, I was sitting there, I was like, wow, they sure are promoting Aurora a lot.
Yeah, like, they do promote the hell out of Aurora. Yeah, they promote the hell out of Aurora.
And I was like, I would never use Aurora like this. I'm a Postgres guy, so I would be doing my own thing with Postgres. I wouldn't really be thinking about Aurora like that, or maybe I use Dynamo a little bit more. But I'm going to do this in a different architecture. And AWS is like, no, man, it's all Aurora. And I sat back and I said, you want me to be an employee for you, don't you? Yeah, you want me to work for you and do Aurora. You obviously have a lot of money invested in Aurora. You want to make your money back. Gotcha.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they got a ton of Aurora use cases. And that was the other thing. You're like, because sometimes they'll give you like a similar answer. And you're like, oh, well, you could solve the case study with this because it's close enough. And it's like, nope, answer's Aurora. You're like, no, I can see how this would work. And then they'll give you the explanation. You know how like they'll give you the explanation. You're like, oh, although this could work, although the one you picked, they're like, although this could work, the proper answer is Aurora.
Is Aurora, right? Yeah.
Yeah, proper answer is Aurora.
Yeah, you're kind of sitting there like, it's like being married, and every answer is that she's right, she's beautiful, and she's perfect. It doesn't. There's no other answer outside of that.
There's no that's 100%. It's and even when I was talking to Dak, he was like, man, just pass the cert. Half the stuff on the cert. He was like, when you implement it in real life, everything's going to be like a hybrid solution anyway. Like no one's doing 100% AWS. So he was like, one point of failure. Like that shit's, it was like it's theoretical. He was like, you just got to pass it, and then once so you can do the consulting and stuff like that. The services. He was like, but the skin and bones in the real world, like half of the stuff for the cert's not even applicable.
Yep. I totally agree, and you also have to think about the requirements. So if the company says they're using Postgres or they're using like Microsoft SQL, like that's what their standard is, that's what they're using, you can't argue with it because they have money.
Right.
So if you understand that Aurora would be better, but the company says this, you go with the company because they pay your paycheck. So you're like, yes, I will do what you say. Yes, exactly. So reality versus what AWS wants can be very different, and you just have to like, okay, so you got your cert, then you deal with reality, you get money, you go to Peru. You dated Peruvian Japanese chica. Yeah.
They are there. Speaking of which, let's do it. This is apropos time for an AWS drop.
With AWS powering your core operations, you demand uncompromising reliability. You need a global team of AWS experts and tools that provide application-level guidance to mitigate risks and improve resolution times. You need AWS Unified Operations. To improve resilience and performance, Unified Operations delivers workload reviews, guidance on migrations, launches, testing, and cost optimization, application-specific alarm monitoring and alerting, and 5-minute context-specific response times for critical incidents. Contact your AWS account team to learn more.
Should be getting paid for these AWS drops.
Well, we're just being nerdy. That's all.
I think they're funny. I think just in the middle of a tech support segment, an AWS drop is funny to me.
Well, this is YouTube, so they're on GCP, right? So they probably were like, "Hey, look, why don't you have a GCP tech drop too?"
I'll find one. I'll definitely find one.
I want to respond to something real quick in the chat. So you have I think Chris Lee Wiz 7006.
A lot of men are better at physical that one.
Yeah. So a lot of men do better in physical settings to learn instead of classroom. I want to give you a retort on this. Look at where women do really well also. Nurturing. And in nurturing, it's also hands-on. It's not theoretical. It's actually dealing with a person. So I would say human beings who are mammals by nature do better hands-on. Now, so both men and women. So when we get into the office, sometimes somebody does it better conceptual, hands-off, and some people do it better hands-on. But there's no one side that actually has a better unique or a better implementation of one versus the other. The only thing you'd probably say is that when we're talking about extreme theoretical, men do better there. But it's not that women aren't there, it's just that men do better there because they have more time not thinking about biology. So they're not reproducing. Because of that, they're like Einstein, you got more super geniuses who are men, and they have more time to develop their minds. But again, the super geniuses usually don't reproduce, unfortunately. It's kind of an issue, right?
Pavlov, it's funny you said that. Elon and Pavlov are probably aware of that conundrum. So I believe Pavlov has 100 children now. That's the founder of Telegram, the billionaire. And he's quite a character. I saw his interview on Lex Friedman. So Russian programmer since like forever. So he's literally spreading his teeth. And it's not he's sleeping with all these women. He donated his genetic materials, and he's got like 100-something children. And he's writing into his will that basically anyone who can prove his directed genetic lineage from this him donating his genetic materials, they basically have access to his to a portion of his wealth moving into the future. But it's on some shit like them trying to replicate their he's probably did some, I'm telling you, he's done some type of analysis where it's like, okay, he's trying to replicate his DNA and his basically his innovation in the world. And it was like he's probably got like some 30% like success rate type thing. He was like, well, if 30 of them end up having my IQ and can, it was like Elon's doing the same shit, quiet as kept. Although the chicks he's picking are doing him dirty. He's already got 2 of them trying to transformer his kids. So he's striking out. He's not as successful as Pavlov in that regard.
He has his kids here in Austin. Yeah, he should probably have them in Dallas or Fort Worth, something like that. A little more conservative. Maybe San Antonio. But here in Austin, it could be a little bad.
Yeah. And Elon's doing his the natural way. Pavlov went straight enterprise. He went for an enterprise. Pavlov went for an enterprise solution. No, it's no bullshit. I watched this whole interview on Lex Friedman. I was like, man, it's a little creepy, but okay.
Actually, I got a hats off to Elon for making so many kids. I go, okay, I understand. I won't criticize that. I think it's like 14 right now, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, well, the guy's like almost. He's going to be worth he'll be worth $1 trillion before he's dead. Once those once his robots go online and his Neuralink, forget about it, bro.
Yeah.
He'll be worth $1 trillion easy.
Well, if you have those robots combined with a government Gronk central AI system.
Exactly.
Ooh. Yeah, they can go into a war zone. Like, so if they said like, okay, we want to end the Ukraine war right now, we're going to send these robots in, and it's actually effective.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, he's going to be rich.
Oh yeah.
Wow, that's great. Oh well, go back to this. Yeah, good talking. So, next one would be AI security architect. So we're talking. This is gonna be in the future. There'll be two implementations of this. This will be AI code within, security code within AI architectures, particularly for hybrid. So if you have an on-prem AI and then you have multi-agentic in the cloud, particularly within Kubernetes, you're going to need security checks within there. But then also you're going to have AI applications that are themselves AI based, or that's a product, is a SaaS product that's AI based, and it's providing some sort of security solution or security SaaS solution for a company. Both of those are viable. There's going to be a lot of money in that one. So again, the $250,000 to $500,000, that's going to be low. That's going to be something that I'm going to be going towards myself first. I'm doing security within AI.
Okay.
Next one, we have agent security architect. Oh my goodness, this is huge shit. So this is a good segue. Show another book right here. So something like this.
Hold on, let me blow you up.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh,
there you go.
I'm blown up. Oh, that's horrible. Somebody shot me. Right? So agentic AI playbook, right? Gives you an example of how to do deployment of agentic AI in many environments, particularly within the cloud. Well, what you're doing with this is deploying this not only on-prem, but in multi-cloud environments with multiple applications, multiple Kubernetes, multiple ECS, stuff like that. And that is an incredible, if you're doing the architecture for that and then putting the security in there, oh my goodness. The amount of money that you're talking about is just beyond comprehension. Right now, what we're dealing with is like kind of its infancy. So for example, we can use foundational models within the cloud, and we can use that like to do agentic AI for Kubernetes or for different applications. But to have a true learning model, which is extended, multi-cloud, data center AI environment, and can learn and can self-learn and then replicate properly to multiple agents. That is not there yet. We're still developing it. Or let's say if it is there, it's like more of a proprietary for certain companies. Most enterprises ain't even begin. They're not doing that. Okay, they're not even there. So in the future, if you could actually implement this and architect it, it's great. Essentially, let me just put it in a workplace. It'd be like this. You're creating multiple IT departments for companies in multiple clouds and then your data center. And then you're telling all of these employees how to work together in a synergetic methodology or manner. And then what you're defining, we have Scrum, right? So we have epics, we have stories like that, right? You're defining all the epics and stories and saying this is what we have to do. And then these teams independently go out, find the information that they need, and then update the stories, update the epics, and deliver solutions to repos of various areas. And they're saying, hey, this is what has to be done. This is what we've done. This is what development that we've been working on. And these AI teams or these IT teams, they're doing this 24/7 without rest. This is what this job would be, actually creating that, but we're doing it with AI. Massive.
That definitely sounds like the future.
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to work toward these autonomous systems that can operate 24/7 and pretty much unsupervised, although there'll be some level of human checks and balances, but unsupervised, because that's the golden ticket.
Yeah.
That's the competitive advantage across all markets and all KPIs and indexes.
Right. Yeah. And again, if it's automated and you're the one who's actually architecting this and making this happen for a company, you're gonna be, well, let's say if you live in another country, you won't be able to do an Elon level, but let's say your children will be well educated and fed.
And you'll be able to eat steak.
Steak, yeah. You'll be able to buy the cow, okay?
Hell yeah. Well, you know what? I'm going to go back. I'm going to switch back to the job screen, but a caveat, because we were talking about Kelsey Hightower earlier. So I know some of the others are probably looking at these job descriptions and the salary requirements, and are kind of like, man, have never done anything technical related, et cetera, et cetera. Like, what's the elevator pitch that, irregardless of that, basically cloud is your on ramp to this. You know, just you didn't go to university, you don't have a computer science degree, and what they're seeing on the screen looks so far in the distance or unrealistic. But the pivot in mind and thinking being like, okay, just start with cloud. That's the on ramp, and take it from there.
Yeah, I would say to people getting some of these books right now, just gotta put there. Okay, basically, anybody listening to this right now, you have to start someplace, and I would say you need to start with cloud. And cloud gives you the infrastructure where AI and applications can rest or be placed. AI does not work by itself. It requires an infrastructure to function, and then it requires an infrastructure to where it's being deployed. So it requires a start and a destination. AI by itself is pretty worthless. It can't do anything. It doesn't know what to do. It's just sitting there. So it's kind of like, it'd be like you, Machismo. You're a pretty smart guy. You're pretty talented. If you get into a room and you just kind of lock the door, you're sitting there. You're not connected to anybody. You're kind of not valuable, are you?
Exactly.
Your value comes from your connectivity with other systems, with other platforms. It's the same thing with AI. You have to look at the connectivity. So when you have to say first, do your cloud. That's where you're going to learn. Then I would also say, do Python. Learn about it. Learn how that actually works. Then when you get those two done at the basic level, then you can start thinking about applications, security, Kubernetes, things like that. Then once you do Kubernetes, you understand how containerization works. Then you're like, okay, I can go into AI, and you can actually start thinking about how AI works as well. And there's a lot of work in there. There's just a huge amount of work that needs to be done, and you can actually start getting into these kind of jobs. But again, I'm trying to get the book real quick. Oh, there it is. Hold on, give me a second. Look at it here. So I think I showed this to you guys last time. So we have here Gen AI with the Kubernetes, right?
Oh, okay. You do have an AI Kubernetes book. Okay.
Yeah. I have 3 of them. This is the one that's close to me right now. I can't.
Nice.
So if you don't know Kubernetes, then you can't do this, right? Well, on Kubernetes, you have to have containerized applications. So if you don't know what those containerized applications are or why they're important, then you really can't do the Kubernetes infrastructure, which means you can't do AI for that. It doesn't work. It doesn't make sense. So within here, if you actually know how Kubernetes works, and we have what we call microservices, if you got the microservices in there, then you know how multi-agentic AI would be implemented in that environment. Then you could do reinforcement learning. Then you could do RAG. That's, you get some security in there. Yeah, you'll be eating steak. In fact, this is what I would say. You could eat so much steak that you can pay for your dietitian and your personal trainer because you're eating too much steak, because you're too rich. You don't know how to stop eating steak. It's kind of like my problem.
Yo, No News says, I'm over here screenshotting and have no idea what Kubernetes is. You know what? All right, I'm glad you said that, No News. That's a good pivot. Hold on, let me go back to the screen. Let's let's finish these job descriptions. Let's finish,
There's
and then hold on. Let me blow you up. Bang! There you go. Let's see. Oh, Kubernetes practical guide. There we go.
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
All right, you got screenshot too.
I was gonna say, like, so I was gonna say, in my class, I teach all these.
He does teach.
Yeah, these are all a part of my educational program, and you have to learn through the step by step. You have to go through these things, and once you understand how these what seems to be basic technologies, once you understand how these platforms work, then extending AI to them is actually rather easy. But there are steps to it. You don't just go into it real quick. I'm having fun with you right now. All right, so before you do Kubernetes, you have to do Docker.
Yes, you do have to do Docker.
Right, so we have Docker classes. We have Docker conversations first. We have Docker Compose. You have to do this thing called scripting, right? So we talk about scripting in the class. In the next class that I'm teaching in March, you have to do this horrible thing called PowerShell and PowerShell scripting. And usually I only do PowerShell scripting when I start hating human life. And, I don't want to think about like human welfare. So I do. If you want human rights violations, you start doing PowerShell with Microsoft. It's always a joke, but I don't like it at all. But
everyone hates PowerShell.
I hate it. But if you understand how to do it and actually implement it and actually do the queries, then there's a lot of work that you can do, that you can achieve. And I'm just saying, this is where you guys really want to go into. There's just a lot of work you can get done here. So there's a step-by-step process to actually improve your skill set. You don't just do this from day one. You have to take some steps.
Yeah, Quiet Storm says, I didn't know what Kubernetes was either 15 months ago, but I've been working with it for at least 19 months. And Storm's good with it. Like I said, Storm's the builder. He'll be my go-to guy when I have to jump back in and restart building things again. Actually, let me pivot back to the jobs, and we're at the 122 minute mark. So I'll since you guys are talking Kubernetes, we can pivot real quick to Kelsey Hightower, who's actually a black gentleman and actually was a major contributor to the Kubernetes project as you know it. And this is some footage from Container Days, 2025 edition. But go ahead. I'll let you finish going through these job descriptions.
Okay, so let's do one more. So next one is the Principal AI Security Engineer. So in this case, you're talking about the AI engineer, AI security engineer in particular, for multiple environments. And this is much larger than what you would be like. You would have AI security architects working underneath you. And so you're talking about a much deeper collaboration with business needs and with business partners. And you're trying to connect multiple SaaS environments, multiple company environments, and kind of mesh them together. And you're designing the AI security within all of this architecture. Huge amount of money. We're talking about Cisco, OpenShift, AWS. Not only, for example, you talk about your own AI developed inside your house, inside your company, but ChatGPT and Claude and things like this, like all these kind of models with Anthropic, these would all be used together in a concert. You would be the one who would be like the master, music composer, basically, doing everything together. Again, huge amounts of money. This is very lucrative. And this is going to be, that kind of job is going to start happening around, I'd say 2030, somewhere around there. Okay. So we got that. Yeah. Why don't we talk about, the Kubernetes guy?
Okay. We already did AI SOC architect and distinguished automate.
No.
All right. Cool.
I can do that. I'll do the AI SOC architect. So what a AI SOC architect is? We have A SOC is a security operations center. And what an AI SOC architect is a guy who comes in and develops the AI systems within a security operations center, which automate monitoring and vulnerability finding, risk assessment for customers. To tell you the truth, I'm teaching the CCSP right now, so it's on Fridays, which is Certified Cloud Security Professional. That's from ISC Squared. So I'm teaching that. One of the things that we're going to be doing over the summer is creating our own security operations center with Terraform, and it's going to be in AWS and it's going to be in GCP. But the big cool thing, we're going to be making AI in there, and we're going to show how to use multi-agentic RAG in companies like Kubernetes clusters to monitor them to see if there's any problem. And so this could be basically going to be like security as a service, but it kind of connects in there with Terraform and it does the monitoring for you. It's going to be really cool. Not many companies are doing anything like that, anything similar to that. So if you can do this, like 300,000, actually nowadays, that would be a low salary. Almost nobody is doing this at all. Not even close. Not even, again, I'm a former IBMer. IBM isn't doing anything like they're modeling this kind of stuff. If you can do it, huge cash. And then next one, where's the last one? Okay, so we have the Distinguished Autonomous Systems Security Architect. Now, this is huge. So you're basically making multiple LLMs or building them out that can all think for themselves. And then you are designing the security within so that they're not corrupted, that they don't become Skynet, but they actually work together in concert. And this would be like integrating like Visa together with like Facebook or Visa together with like Google or something like that. This is a very large level way of doing things, implementation. So to give an example, like we have the Practical LLM Builder Handbook, right? This would be like implementing this, but in an industrial scale. This like hundreds of thousands of systems would be implemented by your work. And also this would be working with like Cisco systems. So we're talking about application-centric infrastructure, where your hardware, your data center is synchronized and built specifically for AI applications. Again, $500,000, easy. $500,000 to 1.5 million, easy money. And this kind of job's going to start around 2030. The thing is, right now, we just have the theory. The hardware is just coming out, but there's not enough of it. We need more infrastructure. We need business case purposes. We need to understand why we're using the data, how to use it. It needs to be tested. The business case isn't there yet, but I want to tell you guys, the framework is there.
Gotcha.
And the framework is there. It's just a question of time before that train comes to your station. So what you want to do is get ready to be on that train. And you either want to build the rails to your station and/or make sure you're actually building the train and you're the conductor. So when it comes down to your station, you're ready, you're able to take control, you're going for it. And then you can, and the honey you could have would be incredible. We're just talking. You can go to Brazil, you never leave. You just be with somebody who's like totally amazing. If you want 4 or 5 kids, go right on for it. You have to do Elon Musk level, but you could definitely make a legacy. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, the leverage of the U.S. dollar in terms of exchange rate. I won't say his name. First name Jay. He's a Kubernetes guy and a bunch of other things. You see him everywhere, and he's living quite well. I think he's in Barranquilla right now. He's living quite well all over the place, working remotely as such. It's that the leverage of the U.S. dollar, especially when you're in the six-figure territory. It's you're living in a completely different reality. I'll just put it that way. Um, like I said, my good friend Ty, who showed me around Colombia when I first got there, and came and checked on me here in Panama. He's a retired Air Force, but he's in IT, in the AI GRC sector, and yeah, he's doing that $250,000 a year, and it's they're not living the life that they're not living the life that the average person is living, especially since they spend a lot of the at least 6 to 9 months of the year overseas. The yeah the It's night and day the lifestyle that they're living. Let's to use a pejorative term that a plantation bro would be living. It's not you can't. It's not. Yeah, like
I don't get the plantation. I don't get why they're doing it. Like it's like plantation bro and CompTIA. I'm like, why are you doing this, bro? Why? Why?
Exactly. Well, I think there's a philosophical thing at play here also. It's just and as it relates to the AI, the world is actually shifting in real time. Tectonic plates are moving under our feet, and this is going to be a Darwin event. Like the people who adapt and who don't. Pareto distribution is in full effect. The 20, and we will. I'm a big fan of science fiction. I've posited this premise before that, especially with the black men here in the United States, and people aren't paying attention to it. But there is a massive with travel and technology and the brothers that are leaning into that. We're seeing a technocracy class being built in real time, and in real time. Like people are always talking about classes. Like this is some science fiction shit happening right here in this specific ethnic group. You're seeing it. I'm seeing it in real time happening. There is a technocracy class being built. These guys that are highly skilled in these remote-based technology jobs. They travel. They have passports. They live a completely different life. Their reality is completely and there's more and more and more of them because then we meet each other overseas, and then what happens is like a fraternal order starts to happen where guys are checking on each other. Hey, did you get the cert? But the mentality is different. The things that you're going to see, it may be 10% of the population or something like that, but there is going to be a black male technocracy class that is global, that is asymmetric in terms of their dependency on being in one specific geographic location. They're going to be high six-figure earners. They're in a lifelong track of constantly updating their skills because the industry requires that. And then they're onboarding people too, like that they meet, and literally they're going to be living a completely as it grows, because there is a barrier to entry. They're going to live a completely different existence than the typical average Black American man. And I'm telling you, I'm seeing it with my own eyes.
So I think these guys are going to have the optimal 1950s lifestyle.
Exactly.
And people are not going to be aware that who these guys are or what they're doing. But they're going to be like, yep, this is what I'm doing. It's 1950s. And they're going to have the wife at home who's going to be raising the kids and the dinner on the dinner table when he comes home. But they're going to be doing this wild stuff that people aren't going to be used to. And these guys, including us, including ourselves, we're going to laugh when we think about like 50-50. We're like, no, man, that's not the way it works. No, man, she cannot contribute to what I'm doing. This is very few people can. We're doing it totally differently than what other people are thinking about. So when you're going to hear 50-50, be like, yeah, you're dating someone who's not capable. Right?
Yeah.
I'm capable. I know what I'm doing. Right. So, yeah, this is the future.
No, no, and that's real. Like I said, I've floated I've floated that proposition several times, but I do see it happening in real time. Like because I used to read a lot of science fiction, and this idea of a tech it is a global tech traveling non-location dependent class of black men. It is really happening in real time. And then the other thing is the nature of the industry. There's a compounding effect too, because guys end up building things together in terms of technology and business, et cetera, et cetera. So you're gonna, like I said, the gap is going to widen. A decade, like from this conversation, a decade from now, it's going to be like night and day.
Oh, good. Oh, yeah, you're spot on. I can't emphasize this one enough. What we're going to be doing compared to what other people are going to be doing, night and day, not even close. I always say, again, people are watching this, particularly anybody, my students or thinking about taking the class, get in, get involved, start doing this stuff, pay attention, do the work, because I'm doing the work. As a teacher, I'm doing the work. I have to do the work, right? Not only as a professional, but as a teacher. If you guys are doing the work as a student, you're working with groups, you're doing the code, where you're going to be in 10 years is going to be unbelievable. I didn't think I was really going to leave the country again. Like, kind of thought maybe, but yeah, now I know 100%. Oh yeah, I'm leaving, and it's going to be a good life when I leave. It's going to be amazing. So I'd say, guys, believe in this process, believe what's there, but don't be hesitant, because if you hesitate, the market will not be waiting for you. It's going to keep on moving. All right?
And the market is cruel and unforgiving. All right, this is a perfect time for. I'm going to load up a piece of this Kelsey Hightower.
Okay.
Talking. And whatchamacallit, we're at the 137, so I'm gonna play a bit, and I'm gonna get you to do be the nuance translator, and we can pick up with this Kelsey video next stream. But I wanted to get this on the books because he's actually talking about containers, et cetera, and I just want to kind of normalize. I want to normalize brother seeing black men talk about tech, and then the guys who are at the top of their fucking game, top of their game, top 10% in the world, world renowned, and hear them talk and see it's very attainable. And Kelsey's a great example because he didn't go to university. He doesn't have a computer science degree, and he was homeless living in his car. So let's do a quick dark web drop.
Responder is a pretty clever hacking tool. The thing about Windows computers is that they always want to try to join a domain and connect to shared drives on the network. And so if a Windows machine wants to connect to a shared drive, it will try to get to that host directly. So then if the Windows machine still can't find that shared drive that it really wants to connect to, it then sends a broadcast message to all the computers on the local subnet. And that's when Responder springs into action. It sneakily says, why, yes, I'm that shared drive you're looking for. That's me. You need to authenticate first, yeah. And the Windows computer is like, oh, yes, of course. Okay, here's my username and password. Now, Microsoft takes your security seriously, so it doesn't actually send your password over the network. Instead, it sends a password hash. And since Responder is this dirty little liar on your network, it snatches that username and that password hash and gives it to the penetration tester or hacker who's running the tool.
Next, Jack Rysider, Dark Web Diaries. I go to sleep listening to that podcast. All right, let's go. Kelsey Hightower, distinguished Google engineer, the only black man to date to be awarded that distinction. We were talking about Kubernetes. I was shocked to find out that this black guy is one of the key contributors, evangelists of the Kubernetes project. He's very much responsible for part of the open source project and being and its popularity, et cetera, as well. A lot of you guys are getting HashiCorp certs. He's actually key contributor to the Terraform HashiCorp project as well. We would have never known. So this is his part of his speech at Container Days conference. This is from 2025. Kelsey Hightower on stage. Why are we still talking about containers? And this is let me see. All right, this is a 46-minute keynote speech. We're going to do just some of the beginning and let Theo do color commentary. When we do a follow-up stream, we'll pick up where we left off because especially since he's talking about containers, it's actually apropos. And then we'll use Theo to decipher what he's actually saying. Let's go.
Tab. And it seemed like it just keeps on growing. So, but it is interesting to me that after 10 years of talking about containers a lot, that we're still talking about containers. And I'm thinking, is it time to move on? I know for a lot of you, you're probably caught up in the AI hype wave. How many people are all in on AI at the moment? How many people are lying? There's a few of you all right now with ChatGPT running on your laptop. It's okay. That's the next trend. The landscape keeps getting super big. So every time I look at it, there's another row, another column, another tab. And it seemed like it just keeps on growing. And I think a big reason that we're still talking about containers, I'll save that for a moment. In tech, I've been through maybe 3 or 4 of these hype cycles. I went through the Linux hype cycle when it was replacing AIX and Solaris. Everyone got super excited. And I was there when DevOps was like a thing. And I went from writing shell scripts to using Puppet, Chef, and Ansible, sometimes all 3 for some odd reason. And then while I was working at Puppet Labs on configuration management, Docker came out. And I immediately thought that if I didn't switch to Golang and learn Docker, that I would get left behind. So I quit. I'm done with configuration management. That's the old thing. And I moved on to writing Go code, working on containers, ended up at CoreOS, and started working on things like distributed systems, etcd, and of course this thing we call Kubernetes. But through all of those transitions, I remember a lot of people in the business world especially, and some of us techies too, we would always say that it's not about the technology, it's about the business. Has anyone ever heard that phrase? I hate that phrase. I hate it with a passion because a business only works because of the collection of people that do what they do at every particular layer of that business. And of course, some people would say artificial intelligence is where it's all at and everything will change. And so I'm going to address that it's all about the business. This is my favorite tool company of all time. They happen to be German. Do you all know this company? How many of you have Kinepix tools? How many of you know how to actually use those tools? Yeah, just like in tech, a lot of people have tools they don't even use. And so my favorite tool company ever. And if you think about it, their business is selling the best pliers and cutting tools. And I clicked around it. I said, I wonder if they mentioned Docker or Kubernetes anywhere. What do you all think? So I clicked around, and of course, you hit the products, and it's all of these products that they sell to people. These are some specialized tools, highly regarded in the industry. And then I went to the About Us page. I was like, surely they're going to talk about how important the technology stack is to this tool company. And I was scrolling down, and there's nothing. But there's this component. Our fundamental idea is to focus, and only as specialists have we been able to offer our customers top performance and survive against global competition. They're not making all the tools. They don't make power tools. They don't make all of these other things that some of the other tool manufacturers make. they focus on a very limited, I mean, they still make a lot of tools, but it's definitely in a very limited domain. And I'm thinking about this, it's like, why do they do this? And it helps me answer that question, why are we still talking about containers? And the truth is because that's our area of focus. We enable a lot of things to do what they do above the stack or above the line in which we operate by being really, really good at this layer. And the truth is, this layer is far from finished. If you've been a part of any of these technology cycles, if you ever worked at any of the companies building this stuff, you know that we do just enough to ship that release and to take advantage of that hype cycle. All the VC money is flowing in, and we all want to move fast because we know it's only a matter of time before competition shows up. And once the competition shows up, it's only a matter of time before Red Hat, Microsoft, or Amazon buys them all. And then it's only a little bit more time before you run out of cash and the project is over. This is how a lot of these hype cycles go. And guess what we never get to do? We never get to finish these things. We get good enough to be in production. We get good enough to actually get customers, and we start the feedback loop. If you've ever built something and had to support it in production, the feedback loop is what creates the biggest mess. Every customer says, just add this feature, then I can use it.
Well, we're going to stop it right there. What do you think so far? Theo? Oh, man, is he frozen? Oh, he froze. Oh, you said you, damn it, I got Nipix tools? I think he's going to call. All right, Theo's having a technical deal. I think he's going to drop out and come back in. I don't know Nipix. Oh, let's do another. Yeah, let's do another dark
Responder is a pretty clever hacking tool. The thing about Windows computers is that they always want to try to join a domain and connect to shared drives on the network. And so if a Windows machine wants to connect to a shared drive, it will try to get to that host directly. So then if the Windows machine still can't find that shared drive that it really wants to connect to, it then sends a broadcast message to all the computers on the local subnet. And that's when Responder springs into action. It sneakily says, why yes, I'm that shared drive you're looking for, that's me. You need to authenticate first, yeah. And the Windows computer is like, oh yes, of course. Okay, here's my username and password. Now Microsoft takes your security seriously, so it doesn't actually send your password over the network. Instead, it sends a password hash. And since Responder is this dirty little liar on your network, it snatches that username and that password hash and gives it to the penetration tester or hacker who's running the tool. Responder.
I miss 2025. Remember life before extraterrestrials took over? It was so primitive.
I love everything about you. Because I'm programmed to be your perfect soulmate. To make you happy.
You got his eyes right. But that's not his soul. You didn't prompt his soul. This isn't my dog.
Dave Campbell, I detect your cortisol levels are higher than usual. In the mood for a digital chat to calm you down. I'm prompted to please.
What the hell?
One more set on this mountain. Get your headsets on. We are simulating the best workout of your life.
Welcome to your afterlife trial. Please select your ideal eternity subscription plan.
Today, we'll be studying the nature of this reality. After class, all details will be downloaded into your knowledge base.
They don't want us to know this, but we can override.
All right, guys, that might be a wrap. We'll pick this back up next week, I guess. You said Nipix? Nipix are pretty much top of the line, like Snap One. Okay. I think Theo froze. I was waiting for him to come back. Let me see if I can resend him the link. He said, finally, a brother speaking. I'm tired of listening to East Indians is straight in my ears. Well, look, we have the 149-minute mark. Let me let some more of him play, and then I'll wrap this up. I'll check in on Theo. I think his sister, what you call it? He froze up, so he's having technical difficulties on his end. Let me play some more of this Kelsey Hightower.
And after 7 years working at a large cloud provider, they asked me for a summary. What did you learn in these 7 years? No matter what new technology comes out, everyone wants you to make the new thing work the old way. Hey, Kelsey, when will Kubernetes support Juniper? It's like, Juniper switches? Yeah, that's what we have. We want to see that surfaced inside of Kubernetes. And before you know it, you have enterprise Kubernetes. Everyone's laughing here, but you probably are buying enterprise Kubernetes distributions. Why? Because this is what happens in this cycle. So we're at year number 10, 12, or 14, depending on how you're counting. And if you zoom out,
hey,
it's a
hold
mess.
on. There you go. There you go. There you go. Perfect.
So
you cool?
Yeah, I'm cool. I was listening to this. I was listening to a lot of it. My computer rebooted.
That's what I figured something like that happened. I didn't even know you were frozen. I thought you were reading something on your screen because it was smaller when I brought you back up. I said, "Oh shit, he's frozen," and then you just dropped right up.
Boom. Yeah,
cool.
I was like,
"It's cool." We did a dark wet drop. A SOAR seed says, "Oh, this is the sentiment." He said, "Finally, a brother speaking. I'm tired of listening to East Indians and straining my ears." He's not like, yo, you know what? He's not. We need Stephen A. Smith. He's right and he's not lying, but
Let's be nice. Let's be nice. We don't have to go there. I mean, you're not wrong, but you didn't have to say it. I mean, good Lord. Let's be nice. Let's be nice. We don't have to go there. I mean, you're not wrong, but you didn't have to say it. I mean, good Lord.
Oh man, it's true. It's because it's freaking true. All right, hold on. Let's put us both on the screen. We can pick up with Kelsey next week.
Okay.
It appears brothers like Kelsey, but just offhand, I don't know what you heard, but what said you thus far of his where he's going with this?
I agree. We have a long way to go with Kubernetes. We have a long way to go with multi-agentic AI, with RAG, with LLMs, with all of it, and we're just starting. And so when I always say like you got to jump to this right now, it's usually because that's where the big money is.
Fact.
But to be honest, just doing practical implementation, with having compliance, making sure your identity platform is tight, your security is tight, extending AI in there, there is so much work to do. There are so many opportunities that this isn't going to dry up during our lifetimes. It's going to keep on going. So I would say to the guys who are listening to this in the chat, there's an opportunity here. There's a place for you. You have to make your decision if you're going to go for it or not. That's it.
And I'll double down on what Theo said is this is the last career pivot I'm ever going to make into cloud tech and everything that comes with it, like spanning out the AI, et cetera, et cetera. Cloud is my on ramp. That's what I was saying earlier. I spent the last 13 years in banking, and I did quite well. Your assets and your burn rate and your money, they have a burn rate, when new income's not coming in, et cetera, et cetera. You can burn through your 401k very quickly. You can burn through the silver and gold in your safe very quickly. You can burn through your 6-month emergency fund very quickly. You know what I'm saying? My point is that you could do everything right in terms of financial responsibility, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. One bad turn with the economy, and you could be wiped for 6 months. That's the truth. You could be what? You know what I'm saying? And my epiphany was when I showed up at the Manosphere meetup in Philadelphia, and it was there, and it was a pop-up one. And I was transitioning right around that, but I had sense enough to see which way to be like, okay, basically not that banking is dead, but banking as we knew it is dead. And that I was smart enough to be like, I need to go all in now and really make one big career pivot and get into another industry and one that's growing. you know, and like I said, I got up in Theo's bootcamp, and the numbers just make sense, and especially now that I've got a certain amount of you know, I got the confidence. Oh, I could pass this exam. You know, I'll miss the last one by 40 points, and then the infrastructure and the ecosystem is there to help you. Yeah, I mean, bet on black is basically what I'm saying, and especially, bro, if you got a 9 to 5, this shit's perfect for you. If you actually have steady income now in whatever industry you're in, trucking, if you got an office job, what you got a 9 to 5, and all it, you know, you basically your overhead, your bills are fucking paid for. You've been doing your job for X amount of years. Cut out all your other little extra time and just take the class, and and you study at your leisure, and et cetera, et cetera. You pretty much, you know, you pretty much got nothing to lose. It's like, you know, it's guys like me and other guys that, you know, burnt our ships and jumping into it. You know what I mean? That's a whole different dynamic. But if you got a steady 9 to 5, or you've been somewhere, like, make the transition in your leisure, like you know what I'm saying? Show up to the classes, the stuff is there, and you can move at your own pace. And like, no matter how long it takes, it may be a year or 2 years from now, you're like, oh, okay, I'm getting all these job offers now. I got these certs. It'll sneak up on you. Like a lot of us other guys are moving at warp speed, is because, you know, we bet on black and we went all in. You know what I mean? But like the class adapts to everyone.
I would say to the people who are listening, you're going to have to go at your own speed. But the thing is that you have to get like 1% better every day.
Facts.
It's something that my trainer always says to me, my personal trainer. Like, you know, I'm having problems losing weight or gaining muscle or something like that. He says, just make sure you don't gain, and that you just 1% better every day. And if you have that mentality, you're going to get there. But if you don't, you're gonna have a massive problem. So please have hope, have faith in yourself, have confidence, and move forward, and you'll be just fine. You know, I got no safety nets, man, just except for myself. That's it. When I make, so if I'm doing it, just here with Chewbacca, right? You guys can too.
Bang, no news said it right. I burned through my 401k 2 years ago. I got laid off 6 months, and I'm an electrician. Yo, bro, I know you. I was in the high. I was bro, I'm back office bank. Like, we don't run out of money. It's like, but bank is like the mafia, bro. Like, you never don't have a job. So what happened under the Biden administration was like otherworldly. So
don't even get me started with Biden, man.
Yeah. So you know what I'm saying. So like, and this is what I mean when I say like this is the last career pivot of my, of my life. Like this cloud on ramp, like this is the next 15 years of my life. Mm-hmm. So one way or another, for sure to get done, I'll get hired. Like that. There is no plan B for this. You know what I'm saying? And at least all the salaries look very good. You know what I mean? Somewhere down the path. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're gonna be eating steak, right? Yeah, exactly.
Well, look, there goes Red Sigma. Look, burned through mine during the lockdown. Yeah. That's what I said. Brothers are responsible. I learned this in banking. It doesn't matter how much you make. It doesn't matter how much you got saved up. It doesn't matter how many bigger your assets. The big question is, what is the burn rate of your money? What's the burn rate of your assets? What does that mean? If all income is shut off at your current standard of living, how long does it take you to burn through all your assets, savings, and everything? That's your burn rate. Yep. You know what I mean? Yep. So basically, that's the calculation. How quick will it take for you to be fucking homeless? You know what I mean? I mean, you have to start selling shit and everything because you will be dead. Guys, that's a wrap. I'm gonna do a hard stop, get out of here, so I can just get under the fucking 2 hours, so I can put it in rotation. Me and Theo will be back next week. Thanks for tuning in. This goes on rotation now. Good night, Theo.